Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Billy, and for this episode, I was going to review my new train set. It looks just like this, and it's all red and kind of yellow. But my mom made me read a book. It's called Ashes to Asheville, and it was actually a pretty good book. So instead, I'm going to review my new book. Okay? Now, let's start off with the hook. In the book, Ashes to Asheville, the author, Sarah Dooley, tries to catch the reader's attention in the opening by shocking us. Like this. She starts the book by writing, "Right before my sister Zanny steals our dead mother off of the mantle, I'm trying to decide which sock to stuff into Haberdashery's mouth to shut him up. Dooley 1. By doing this, Dooley has created suspense. Where is this happening? Whose perspective is the story being told from? What time period is the story being set in? This compels the reader to keep reading in order to find out more about the story. This hook is an intriguing start to the story of two sisters on a journey to give their now deceased mother her dying wish. Overall, I rate this hook a thumbs up because it effectively pulls the reader into the story." Hey guys, it's Billy. Sorry, I couldn't keep working on my review of Ashes to Asheville yesterday. It was almost 6 o'clock, my bedtime, so I had to go to sleep. The theme in this book is dwelling on the past can prevent one from seeing the future. This is clearly the theme in the story about two sisters who go on a journey late at night to Asheville, North Carolina to spread their mother's ashes. Throughout the entire journey, the younger sister, whose perspective the story is being told from, Ophelia, also known as Fella, cries and cries at the thought of the last bit of her mother being separated from her. Her mother loved Asheville, North Carolina. And even though Fella knows that her mother would have wanted her ashes spread there, she spends the entire car ride dreading it. In the end of the book, giving up her mother's ashes ends up being very beneficial to Fella. This allows her to have closure, end that chapter of her life, and move on. Fella finally realizes that she has lost so much time grieving that she hasn't been living her life to the fullest. Although I am not mourning a loved one's death, I can relate this theme to my own life. In fact, I often find myself wasting time sulking about things in my past that I cannot change. One example of this would be last year when I received one of the worst grades ever. I spent so much time over that one grade that I lost sight of what was important and all of my grades in that class slipped. Since then, I have realized the importance of being able to move on, live in the present, and look forward to what's to come. Hey guys, it's Billy. I'm back for the conflict. Sorry I had to go. I had to take my nap time. But I'm back and I'm ready to discuss the conflict. The conflict in this book is character versus nature because one of the characters has passed on. The main character, Fella, and her older sister, Zoe Grace, also known as Zanny, are constantly pushing themselves to honor their deceased mother. Throughout the book, there are moments where Fella expresses her longing for her mother. She conveys her desires to hear her voice, but unfortunately for Fella, this is no longer possible because death has come in the way. Death is the most effective conflict throughout the story because the catastrophe of death is recognizable to everyone and cannot be resolved. Out of all the conflicts that Fella has in this book, her mother's death is what is holding her back most and keeping her from connecting with others. Now let's get into the protagonist versus antagonist. Hey guys, it's Billy, again, coming at you with the protagonist versus antagonist. The protagonist, Mama Lacey, is the most effective character in the story because the plot revolves around her and her absence. Mama Lacey was the caretaker of the family and always there for her daughters. Similarly, in The Dog of Pompeii, the dog Bimbo protects Tito from the dangers of the world. Just as Mama Lacey provided food for the family by working, Bimbo ensures that Tito has his basic needs met, including meals. Both of these characters are also like Via from the novel Wonder. In the book Wonder, even though August doesn't like to make a scene when people stare or are mean to him, his older sister Via does. She lashes out at people who disrespect her younger brother, which is her form of protecting him, just as Mama Lacey and Bimbo are protective characters. All of these characters are the most effective in their story because they were all open-hearted, kind, welcoming, protective, and morally correct. Hey guys, it's Billy again. I'm finishing off this book review now. It's been a really fun time, but gotta close it off. I'm gonna give a little analysis of the book. Now, I personally would rate this book a 7 out of 10. The hook intrigued me, and the theme was a worthwhile lesson as the reader continues. The conflict was relatable, and the protagonist was a lovable character that urged me to feel for the family. Now, if I were to change the book, I would have added description as to what was happening with Mama Shannon while Zanny and Fella were driving. Since the author mentioned Mama Shannon, who was the wife of Mama Lacey, I couldn't help but want to know more about her throughout the story. If the author explained who she was, I would have been able to focus more on what was happening rather than wondering about Mama Shannon. All in all, I really enjoyed this book and most definitely would recommend it to anyone who is willing to let their imagination run loose. Hey guys, well this has been really fun. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can see my next video about my new train set.